Hello, everyone. We're the BRSN guys alongside Jordan. I'm Wesley. We're here to preview Lamar's away game as they travel to San Antonio to take on University of Incarnate Word. Now, Jordan, Lamar's coming off a difficult, tough, gut-wrenching loss to the Nicholls State Colonels. What do they have to do to bounce back against a very scrappy Incarnate Word team that upsetted Southeastern Louisiana in Hammond?
They have to take advantage of the missed opportunities that were last game that may actually come again. Just a quick recap of the game against Nicholls. We were up by 2 touchdowns twice in that game and mustered I want to call it a sorry performance down the stretch of the game. But it was a very dismal performance by the Cardinals. And we can't come into San Antonio with that same mentality. Even though it was a tough loss, that one is very hard to swallow. We have to move on and go to the next step for the rest of the season because we're playing a very good Incarnate Word team.
Mm-hmm. And to kind of add into what is happening to the Cardinals in the last couple of days, it hasn't gotten any easier, especially with this loss. Coach, defensive coordinator, longtime friend of Ray Woodard, Craig McGallion, announced his retirement. Not that he's going to retire at the end of the season. He retired immediately the following game. Like, he knew exactly what he's going to do. And as a player, I'm not sure how you would take that other than how we need to move on. But how do you think these players are going to respond to their defense coordinator?
Well, then how they will respond would depend on what type of a character of an individual that they are. Mm-hmm. A team is a squad made up of multiple people with multiple different personalities. So I think it'll have to be on a player-by-player basis how individually they would take it. But as a team, all you can do is move on from it. Even though he was a very valued member of the Cardinal staff, he's no longer with us. Now we have to move forward and set our sights on Incarnate Word. Defensively, we'll be all right. Coach Kreiner will step up and make all the adjustments necessary in order for us to be a very credible team defensively. But it's sad to see Craig McGallion go.
It is. And, you know, he was a valued member of that defense, coached him for all 6 seasons while this Lamar Cardinal team has been on the resurgence. And also what we're going to be looking at is, can this defense bounce back after, like, these last few weeks? The Cardinal defense has been unable to stop anybody in the run game. And Incarnate Word must be looking at that, and they're probably saying, hey, if we can't throw the ball, we can surely run it on this defense who gives up a lot more yards than it should have or should be giving up in this point in time of the year.
Yeah, and I don't know whether that's a matter of schematics about having the people in the right places at the right time or just effort to go out there and make a tackle. A lot of times the technique is poor, we take bad angles, and defensively a couple mistakes can lead to big plays, and that's what we've been giving up. We rarely have defensive drives where we really stick them out and it's a long drive and we end up stopping them right before they get into field goal range. A lot of time when you look at the stat sheet, yeah, it may show that we gave up 400 and something yards like last game on the ground, but we gave up big-time runs of 20, 30, and 40 yards down the field, and that can't happen at the very wrong times, and that can skew the numbers a little bit. So we need to learn how to just prioritize our own positions. If we understood that this guy has to be in this position in order to make the play and actually get there, because only knowing it is half the battle, but we have to go out there, and it's about executing. And if we can do that, we should have a good outing at San Antonio.
And then on the flip side, you know, offensively, they do their part. They score more than enough points to win. Cade Harrington, obviously the best running back in the nation, is only 195 yards short of 2,000 in this coming into this game. What I want the offense to do is to continue to play all the way through, but the one big thing I need them to do, what I would like to see them do, is avoid the momentum-killing turnover. Last week at Nicholls, Carson Earp is leading the drive down, and a bad snap and a bad exchange was the difference right there. And Nicholls went down, made their field goal. Even though we came right back down, got to field goal range, we were unable to capitalize in the closing moment. So that's really what I want to see from offense, just to avoid the momentum killing turnover. Continue to get the ball to Reggie. Continue to run the ball with Cade. Get it to your other receivers like Devon Brown, Michael Handy, and everyone else. But avoid the momentum-killing turnover. I believe that will be huge going into this game.
And with that, just remaining consistent throughout of the game, because even though the momentum-killing turnover did definitely happen, it happened once again in Northwestern State on a botched handoff again. When you're up 14 points in a game, offensively, you have to continue to tack it on. Regardless of however many points you score, once you have a lead, you shouldn't surrender the lead. And if we can, once up in the game, because remember early in the season it was always getting off to that good start. Now that we're working on getting off to that good start, and it has been proven that we can get ahead of teams early in the game, we have to maintain. And if we can maintain and limit those momentum-killing turnovers, we should come out with the win against the Cardinal Word.
Yes, and if we do maintain, this game will be huge going into McNeese, our rival, who is number 1 in the conference and number 2 in the AP polls for FCS. That will be a game. But Jordan and I will be post-gaming Incarnate Word. We will not travel to San Antonio, but we will post-game the results of that game. And we hope that all the Big Red fans make that trip out to San Antonio to support your Cardinals. And we'll hope they come out with a win. Until then, we'll see you then.